What is the best Super Bowl you've ever seen? Shut up. You shut up. What is the worst Super Bowl that you have ever seen? I also have rankings. You know what's interesting? None of the Cowboys Super Bowl wins are ranked high, but every single one of their losses is ranked higher than any of their wins.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Well, I mean, because if you think about it, so like we're on Super Bowl 60. So CBS Sports ranked the 59 prior. And so Super Bowl 27. Super Bowl 27 is one of the biggest ass kickings in the history of the Super Bowl. So that is down at 54. Not a competitive game, especially through the second half. And then you get to Super Bowl 12, which is ranked 52. That's another one where the Cowboys were just in full control of the Super Bowl if you go back to the second Super Bowl that the Cowboys won. Super Bowl 6, it's ranked at 45, and then the other two Cowboys Super Bowl wins, 28 and 30, so that was against the Bills and the Steelers respectively. Those are ranked 38 and 28. I know that's a lot of numbers. I hope it's not too confusing. But all three of the ones they lost are all higher than any of the ones they won.
Do you think that, so I mean, we talk about it all the time. If the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, the ratings would go insane.
100%.
But it probably wouldn't change their ranking of the game specifically, would it?
Correct. If it's a disproportionate game, like you think about it, you won all of the 90s Super Bowls by, at minimum, 10 points. And obviously in two of them, you won by more than that. And in one of them, you won by a lot more than that. Super Bowl 12 was not particularly competitive. And, yeah. So, I mean, like, those games that they've all won haven't been super competitive, and Super Bowl 6 wasn't competitive either. So, like, every Super Bowl the Cowboys have ever won has been by double digits, and in most cases, 17 plus.
Man, I guess that like, I find that, I loved that Super Bowl. I loved beating the Bills the way that we did.
That's the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Yeah, for me, that's probably the same one. The one against Pittsburgh, though, because it was closer, the one that we saw.
Yeah.
The fact that Larry Brown was he had interceptions. He was the MVP. That Super Bowl was thoroughly exciting, but I think the first half of it was kind of like, yeah, it was all right. And then the second half, Cowboys did what Cowboys do back then. What the Cowboys did back then.
Yeah.
So that was a very exciting one for me. I think the worst one, Kevin, and it has to be on there. And people can say it was a defensive battle if they want to, but it was Patriots-Rams. That it was the most when Jared Goff could not get anything going. It was the most boring thing I'd ever seen. And I know there was a lot of great defense. There was a lot of poor offense in that game too. Very poor offense. So I'm not going to be like, oh, it was a great defensive battle. No, that thing was a boring football game.
I'm going to have to look where that one on the list is, but it's 34th. It is shockingly high. So they're like, that's better than 24, 25 Super Bowls, which I think is patently absurd.
And here we are at Super Bowl licks. You know, that's crazy.
I get what you're doing. I hate what you're doing. The next to worst Super Bowl of all time, Seahawks-Broncos. That was the blunder on the first play. Get the safety. Seahawks win 43-8. But
that became very boring very fast.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing turned. I mean, we saw what happened when the hub numbers started going up.
Yes. The worst Super Bowl they list of all time. Super Bowl 35. The Ravens against the Giants. Now, that one had a very exciting part because the Ravens scored a touchdown, and then on the ensuing kick, the Giants score a touchdown, and then on the next kick, the Ravens get the touchdown back. And so in the span of 36 seconds, 3 touchdowns are scored. But the But the reason the Giants one was so exciting is you were like, this team sucks, and they can't score anything against the Ravens, and you were hoping that would make it competitive. But guess what? It most certainly did not make it competitive. Now, the two old-school Super Bowls against the Steelers, Super Bowl 10 and Super Bowl 13, that was the rematch for the team of the decade. That finished 15-11.
Okay.
So those are the highest, for whatever you will, ranked Super Bowls the Cowboys were in.
What was the power outage Super Bowl? The Ravens versus the Niners.
Yes.
Did you already do that one?
No.
Well, where does that rank? Because I still think that's a fascinating moment in time.
All right, so let's see if it is in the top 10.
You're in the middle of a Super Bowl game, and all of a sudden the power goes out in the stadium, and I don't know why, and you have two pretty electric football teams.
Oh, I see what you did there. Now, we're going to go through the top 10.
Okay.
Number 10, Super Bowl 23. This is the first Super Bowl I really, really remember watching, and that was the John Candy Super Bowl, where Joe Montana's like, oh, hey, look, it's John Candy. And Jerry Rice and John Taylor are like, I knew we were going to win the game right then. And they come back, get the drive, a quarterback that can actually score a touchdown to win a Super Bowl. Joe Montana got the job done. The Broncos beating the Packers in Super Bowl 32 is 9th on the list. Chiefs 49ers, that was the another one of the overtime Super Bowls.
That Broncos Packers one, I'm sorry, that one was so much fun.
Yeah.
I think just because being kind of a sideways fan of Elway, you were just always like, oh man, he's really good, but is he that great?
Right.
And then that caps it, and then obviously what TD was doing, but that was an exciting football game.
Now, we've referenced this game a couple of times this week. Super Bowl 34, that's the Rams and the Titans down to the 1-yard line. The Rams are in there at number 6 as well when they lost to the Patriots 20-17. That was the massive upset when the Rams were talking about potentially doing a dynasty.
That game, the one against the Titans, was not, I didn't remember it being super exciting.
Yeah.
The end was. The pass to Isaac Bruce was. But I felt like the Rams offense was so good all season and they couldn't get anything going at all. I was like, what is happening right now? And that's just what happens when you have a couple weeks to prepare for somebody.
See, all right, I'm glad that you said that because we haven't gotten to one that I think that Super Bowl sucked. And it's in the top 5. And I know why it's in the top 5, but I still think it's stupid. Can you go ahead, Alec, and give me cut number 4 because this one is super high on the list.
From the gun, Steelers show blitz. Here they come. He gets it away and it's picked off at the goal line. There's a flag thrown on the run back. James Harrison to run it back, and Harrison is past midfield. Harrison going down the sideline. Harrison still on his feet. Harrison is going to go all the way and waiting for the official to get there. Touchdown is signaled.
The Steelers beating the Cardinals 27-23. I remember not being super hyped up, but that game turned out to be awesome.
Yeah, it really did. Because the Cardinals, you're just like, eh. And then you kind of just suspected the Steelers were going to win because they were a really good team. But you had the big touchdown, you had the catch, the toe tap, everything was really good about that one.
As much as I hate the way this one ended, give me cut number 3. This is number 4 on the list. I think this might be the best Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal.
So the Patriots beating the Seahawks 28-24 in a game where it's almost forgotten what an incredible catch Seattle had down the sideline to set them up in that position. And then, of course, everything falls to the wayside with the Malcolm Butler interception, and Tom Brady is going to be sat on the bench. But then all of a sudden he's like, wait, what? We won?
Kevin, this goes into who did you watch the game with?
Okay.
Right? I watched it with my father-in-law. I love my father-in-law. I have a great relationship with him. He likes to pause the game. He likes to pause it, have conversations. If somebody's talking, he wants to have the conversation and talk about it. And so that game lasted 9.5 hours, I felt like, because by the end of it, I was like, just please, can we be done with the game? And so when we got to that point, I didn't, see it on the phone or anything like that. But when we got to that point, I was just like, thank God the game's over. And so I'm with you. Like they had some really exciting moments in that game.
Now, number 3, I think this is a stupid one. The Patriots beating the Falcons in overtime. That game sucked. All right. The Falcons dominated the first 2.5 quarters, and it's 28-3. And then the game is boring. And then the Falcons quit caring. They let the Patriots get close. That game is exciting in like the last few minutes in overtime. Otherwise, that game is terrible.
It was exciting for that dude who hit up the tennis player. And, that was exciting because they started coming back. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the end of it and the conversation about exactly how that went, go watch that documentary on Julio Jones and that one thing that he did. That was fascinating to hear how detailed they were. But I'm with you.
The then undefeated Patriots losing to the Giants for the 2007 season is put at second, probably the second biggest upset in NFL history behind Super Bowl III, one of the wildest catches that we've ever seen in our entire freaking life by David Tyree. But number 1 on the list, played in the backdrop of the Gulf War with the greatest national anthem of all time. It's Super Bowl 25, Giants against the Bills. Scott Norwood misses the field goal at the end that would have won the game. It was amazing. Like, if he makes that kick, they win. If he misses, they lose. It's not an overtime situation like some of the Vinatieri ones who just went into the Hall of Fame. That one is listed by CBS as number 1.
I get it. I think that's the first one, Kevin, I remember caring about, like as a kid.
Okay.
That was the one where I was just like, okay, so Super Bowl is a big deal, huh? I didn't think of any, I didn't know about it enough until that point. So that was a damn good one for a lot. Our generation probably did get into it around that time.
I could see that.